we have a very special guest whose insights have been illuminating the path of many seekers. Joining us today is Rhythm Kapoor, a content creator who's on a mission to unravel the wisdom of Sanatan Dharma and yoga to everyone. So, let me now, without any further delay, welcome Rhythm Kapoor to the show.
Yes,
Welcome to JioEvents Studio.
thank you, Anukth. I'm very happy to be here and be here with you talking about Sanatan Dharma and yoga.
So happy to have you. So let me get started actually with the first thing. Um, let's start with your journey. How did it start, and how did you start exploring this side of Sanatan Dharma, and how did yoga begin, and what inspired you to? So basically, seeking the knowledge is a different thing, and inspiring it to share this journey with others is another set of things. So what inspired you to share this
Yes.
journey?
Hmm. A lot of questions in one. Um, I have always been blessed. I always say this. I've always been blessed with the kind of atmosphere that I received because of the family that I was born into and the kind of school that my parents chose to send me to. And I've studied in Bharati Vidya Bhavan Amritsar, and it
Okay,
is
nice.
full of like the atmosphere is beautiful. It is very, very cultural and keeps you very close to your roots, keeps you very close to Gita. And apart from that, yes, I have lived a very normal life, which people kind of differentiate like it's a spiritual life and normal life, although it's the same. But I have lived a lifestyle that was not so much rich, just with like everyday, full of spirituality or yoga, and a lot of changes that I have in my life now. Of course, I also have lived the latter side very happily too. And because I lived, let's say, when I got a little far away from the connection, right? My connection is always there, but I'm not practicing my connection. I understood कि uh, जैसे जीवन में शांति नहीं है. Some things are happening here and there, and I am not having a direction. And in my difficult times, I'm the most sad. And in these times, the culture, let's say praying, we are not even going to yoga right now. Even praying and having that faith that I'm taken care of was my anchor. And when I started practicing, let's say, Sanatan Dharma rituals, and then, of course, adding yoga into it, my life started coming together. And I'm not saying कि मेरी प्रॉब्लम्स चली गई और मैं ये भी नहीं कह रही हूँ कि सब प्रॉब्लम्स वैनिश हो गई. Problems will always be there, but I got the clarity in my thought to how to deal with it, and that came with the practice of that. And I feel that many of my friends in a very young age, would have needed that. And we always kind of go away from things that we don't understand, and I want to be the bridge there, that so that people stay
Yes.
connected, and they get this benefit of feeling powerful and taken care of.
So you mentioned this thing that there was a phase you didn't feel happy, you
Yeah,
didn't feel content about that part,
yeah,
and like we have spoken about this thing previously, but you came from a very corporate culture.
yeah.
So what was? Do you want to like dig a bit deeper into that part?
I mean, it's just a lifestyle shift. Let's say today I'm a yoga teacher. I have a very different lifestyle. Even when I'm teaching, I'm studying, it is all about my shastras, yog darshan. And the more I want to get into it, the more I can go, and it is benefiting me. The other ranges that I get into Ayurveda. So you see, it's literally revolving around my mental health and my knowledge. The more is there, and it's up to me how much I indulge into it. And I am not saying that something is better than the other, but in my profile, let's say I was the head of sales and branding for a digital marketing company, and I did that role very well, and I had amazing clients and everything is working great. But the lifestyle that it was holding, going out, meeting your clients, you have to attend the parties, you have to be so social, and it's all to kind of get an amount of money that eventually is going in paying bills and even your healthcare bills. And
Mm-hmm.
it just after a while stopped making sense to me, that because I'm not enjoying it. You can enjoy that lifestyle for a while, but then it hits you that you feel empty, you are not complete, and then you can't even give time to your relationships, whether it's your partner, whether it's your parents. And I know that I understand and accept that I'm an emotional person. I really look forward to relationships and how I create them and how what I do with them in my life. And for me that matters more than going out there and meeting just strangers and trying to work a deal, when the deal in my own house, like my real deal, is not working out. And that comparison kind of and it's not that I decided to be a yoga teacher, it has happened and it's another story. But
Got it.
I kind of decided to take a pause, and in that pause, in the next 4 years that unfolded, today here I am.
Interesting, very interesting journey actually.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
Rhythm, actually, what I've done is I have broken down this podcast into three segments right now. Um,
Mhm.
so, the next segment, like now
Yes,
that we have known what your journey is,
yes,
I want to get into a bit deeper into the content creation side, and I'll
sure,
stick to Sanatan Dharma first, and then I'll go to yoga.
sure.
So when you are approaching like content creation, right, on the ways of uh, when you're conveying the principles and teachings of Sanatan Dharma,
Yeah,
what resonates with the modern audience?
yeah. I think it's easier to pick because Sanatan Dharma is understood to be the eternal laws, the way of living. And no matter you're modern, you're ancient, you have to rise up with the sun, you have to sleep when the sun sets down, you have to eat healthy. And the Sanatan Dharma is way of life. And also, if we add the moral aspect of Dharma, the righteous act of acting correctly with yourself and the anything that's outside of you, so we kind of want that we are developing our character in our lives, by all these different aspects, and we kind of cover that in that. So when I am creating content, I am very much focused on giving the information that is just simple and would be very usable for like an everyday person. Instead of becoming the priest, I am not interested to become the priest. There are enough scholars and enough priests and great saints that are already there who have so much knowledge, and I can't par that. That's not my journey. My journey
Mm-hmm.
is to be that bridge, and I accept that. And therefore the content is also which is the bridging content between that space that people feel that, oh, I'd like to know. And that's that.
Interesting, because when you talk about this bridge, right? Um,
Yes,
you, it's a fact that the part of dharma that we are talking is deeply rooted into the ancient wisdom. So
yes,
there has to be a need to balance the traditional aspects with
yes,
the demands and challenges of the modern life. How do you
yes,
think that you are doing that? And
yes,
how do you want the audience to gain a knowledge about this thing and start doing this?
yeah.
Because
I think
this generation is way too away from the traditional part.
yes.
How do
I
you want to
think
bridge it then?
I think that itself is my motivation. Understanding that it's a way, and I saw it when I was in college because um, many of my dear friends were like, "Why you need to do a puja?" When I was in college, and it's been a while that I've graduated from my college, and I couldn't answer them. But even though I was doing many things, but the technical questions I couldn't answer them, which I can answer today. So
Hmm.
that is the first motivation to do that. And the most easiest way is to put it out as simple as you can. anyone who's listening to it also and wants to do this, just make it as simple as you can. Make it about small things. Don't try to be the highest priest on Instagram because they are in the temples. And apart from that, what is the most important is that, in today's world, there's so much hate, there is so
Mm-hmm.
much misinformation, and especially around Sanatan Dharma, because Sanatan Dharma has suffered a lot. Our country has suffered a lot of attacks, a lot of books that were miswritten, mistranslated, और उनका प्रचार भी खूब हुआ है. तो अभी अगर मेरे पास वो स्पेस है जहाँ पे मुझे सही नॉलेज मिल रही है, और अगर मैं उस ज्ञान को आगे शेयर नहीं करूं, तो मतलब तो वो एक कहते हैं ना, इट्स अ बैड कर्मा. Like my teacher says, bad karma, you have to share it. Because what happened, if you really go back into the attacks, they burnt your books, they did everything, but what did the people of the culture did? They kept everything here. That's why many rituals are being said, you have to do this, because this they couldn't change. So in their brain everybody knew, like, okay, I have to keep this. You can burn the temples, you can burn my books, but what will you do of my brain? You can't do that. And if we have something saved, and there are minds that have more information than the others, then those minds should share it so that people come closer. And the need of the hour is love. The need of the hour is where people have strong wills and strong mind and a lot of confidence from where they come from. They always say, don't forget where you come from. But if the person is not comfortable from where they come from and is doubting their own roots, the whole life is in a question. So we don't want people to be questioning their roots. Instead, take full pride, because it is known, like the talk of the town goes that जो इंडियंस थे ना, उनको अपने ज्ञान के ऊपर बहुत प्राइड था. किसी चीज़ का नहीं था, बट नॉलेज का था, क्योंकि नॉलेज बहुत साइंटिफिक थी. So that is also the reason why, although there's a lot of technical information, but I want to keep it as simple so that if I can touch them in the small points, I'm sure they will give me more time to listen to me. So yeah.
Interesting, because so like how, what is that thing that you want to bridge? Because I see a lot of people who don't know their roots, or who don't want to know their roots. Do you think the westernization and the western culture is influencing a lot of people here in India?
Yeah, I mean, Westerners have always influenced. They came to our country, ruled our country, and destroyed our books and changed the education system of our country so that they create these doubts and questions in our mind. तो वो तो है, and they're still doing it. You really see these mental problems rising up in the West, and slowly you will see in a year or two it will start coming out in one form or the other, and then you will understand some laws are coming out. So of course these things do happen there, and they have their own propagandas, their own agendas to kind of place this in the society, to depopularize the society, or no matter what you want to call it. However, yes, the minds get influenced, and the target is the young audience, because the older one knows they're not distracted, they're very busy living their life. People who are running to
So
earn the
true.
bread, they're very busy. Sorry, they're very busy to, kind of go and earn that bread. And kaun bachta hai? The students, the young minds. You can shape it however you want. You just have to kind of get them feeling emotional and then confuse them about what is it. So once we create that, fun factor and the love factor, and I feel the fact that I am this, हम इस ज्ञान के उत्तराधिकारी हैं, हम इस देश के उत्तराधिकारी हैं, ये मेरा देश है ना, तो फिर आप वो करेंगे ही नहीं. You will not have that space
True.
to get influenced by anyone, because you will be that I am this is who I am, and this is who I want to be. So then there is no comparison. If you are the greatest, the king is not creating he's not creating a comparison with anybody and who's walking on the road. He's the king. So we have to understand that we also are that. and understand our responsibilities. So that's the bridge. I think that's also just that bridge where people are questioning it. Yeah.
It's a very important thing, I would say, and it's something that is needed for the hour right now. Looking
Yeah.
at whatever is happening to Sanatan Dharma and the way the propaganda has been portrayed.
Yes.
Breaking it a bit more deeper. So I'll be breaking it into two parts. The next two
Yeah.
things, which is rituals and philosophy. So
Yes.
rituals actually play a very significant role in our Sanatan Dharma.
Yes.
So how do you incorporate these rituals daily in your life on a daily basis
Mm.
as well? And how can one how can like somebody enhance one's spiritual journey? Like how can they help you know more about your spirituality, probably like your as in within you.
Yeah, yeah. Rituals are very important because rituals are these physical actions that we are doing along with the mental strength that it needs to carry that physical action. Let's take an example of a vrat. When you have
Okay.
to keep a vrat, people say that
Mhm.
okay, अभी मैंने खाना पीना बंद कर दिया है तो मैं व्रत कर रही हूँ या कर रहा हूँ. But there is a proper way to do that. You have to get up in the morning, you have to take a bath, you have to take a sankalp. There's a mental, sankalp to your thing, like you're taking an oath. Then you are also in gratitude, you give water to the sun. There is the water that is going in front of the sun, the spectrum is created, it's clearing the different layers of your body, healing your body, and you are praying, you are again in gratitude. So if you kind of break down the whole mental process at first, you are first creating a will, this practice of creating a strong will. Second, also understanding that you might go here and there and you are seeking the blessings of the god and asking them to give you the strength to do it. And then you are, let's say, giving your arc to Surya Dev. And because you will do that, there will be certain physical changes that you will experience, and that is the power that you are going to then take forward to the temple. You are going to chant, it's good for your throat, you are using certain sound vibration. When we understand even through the quantum physics that through sound comes the creation of the whole universe, so
Yeah.
everything is a part of it. So rituals are very, very important. And if you go more deeply into the rituals, it is also about you can eat this and you cannot eat it. And if you take away the whole, which people say religious aspect out of it, which I don't really think religious and spirituality is anything different. When you make it political, it can be, but I don't really think there's anything wrong in that, because we also say that do this religiously. you know
Mm.
so
Yeah.
it's like do it with passion, do it with
Mm.
eternal passion, is how I understand it. So when we do
I
these
love that
things,
point. I love
yes,
it's a very
eternal
good
passion.
way to put at it. Yeah.
Yeah, so when you are doing these things, you don't have to think that you are doing it for an outside something outside of you. This is a training, right? When you go to the gym, you're working on your reflexes. So not that you can jump in the gym, so that when you are living your daily life, those reflexes are helping you. And it is the
Mm.
same thing, the patience, the will, and everything, and even the fasting with the food and all of that. So rituals play an important role very, very scientifically. And our rituals are, there's a whole calendar. Where is the planet? What is the latitude? What is the longitude? How is the energy in the solar system moving? So I would request people to educate themselves, kind of question and try to open up yourself more towards this and try it
Mm.
and religiously.
So a very important point. So that was really well articulated. So into the depth of it, okay,
Yeah.
Sanatan Dharma is very rich in philosophical terms. It's very rich. How do you integrate these profound philosophical aspects into your daily life, into the content that you're sharing, and
Mhm.
specifically when you're sharing that side of a content, how do you, what do you think, like, it should not be overwhelming your audience a lot, and
Yeah.
if you want to do so,
Hmm.
like, what do you think, why do you think that is it is essential in that way?
It's very true. Sanatan Dharma is, it's the mother and father of anything, any philosophy that there ever can be. And people can call it, it's my own creation. I don't think it is. I don't think there
Okay.
is any philosophy that can challenge our Ved. Because if you actually sit with an acharya to do Shastrarth, we are known for that, you know, because we did not stop until we found that particular answer which was eternal, which became the law, that yes, it is what it is. And a lot of thought experiments have taken place. We are never so there's this term that I hear a lot on social media, and even on my comments it comes sometime, the andhbhakt term, and they call it to
Oh
the
yeah.
right, and they call it to the people of sanatan dharma, and I'm like, it is so funny because that is exactly what anybody who follows sanatan dharma is not, because the ancestors question anything and everything to the point where they really were not satisfied and they did not find scientific theories behind it. So it is not that. We have even questioned what is God. If you go to our sutras, you can find what is universe, what is the soul, what is the God. And these definitions are those definitions where, there are world conferences happening and there are religious debates that are taking place. And over there, you can't just, fool around. And
Mm.
India is a Vishwa Guru for that, because we hold the knowledge of spiritual science. And now when I'm, let's say, when I'm giving this out, yes, it's a lot to give, and actually people will not understand it, है ना, कि इतना technical term people won't understand it. Everybody's journey is also different. People who are studying it, are more into it, they will read these kind of books. For the others, I think everybody kind of connects with the simple things again, you know.
Mm.
And more than what I feel that more than what I can say, it's very important for me to kind of become that, so that,
Okay.
sometimes when you meet somebody, they don't even have to talk to you, but you feel some kind of way. So I think that should be reflecting that I have to become what I want to teach. And if I become that, many things will just resonate, right? So I think that is very very important. And after that, yes, kind of make it fun, make the explanation simple. Don't
Mm.
try to make it like, I don't need to give too much technical information because it wouldn't matter. The intellectuals would love it, but
Love
the
it.
other people, for them, what about that? So keep it simple, keep it light, keep it everyday kind of thing, because the woman, like my mother sitting in the house, she would definitely love it when I tell her about all these theories. But eventually she's going to be like, okay, I have to pray to Mahadev, and I will do this, and mere bachcho ka acha ho jaye, my husband stays well, and everything happens good. So they are looking for a very different kind of connection, and it is to kind of give that and that, because my journey is my journey. I can't just think that it's going to be applied to them, because everybody's living their own karma and they will find the right information in the right time.
Very interesting. I just have one follow-up question on this. Can you break down this term called sutras that you mentioned,
Yeah.
and where can, if people on a layman side, if we have to talk, who are just getting to know what this religion is about, where do they find all these answers?
I suggest one book to begin with. If you're somebody who's beginning but is also interested to kind of go into the technical side, but is also like, okay, Ved is going to be too much, and actually you need like a person to kind of explain you, because पहली बात ये है कि संस्कृत के सारे वर्ड्स की तो ट्रांसलेशन ही अवेलेबल नहीं है.
Exactly.
एक थॉट एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं. आप मन को इंग्लिश में क्या बोलोगे?
Heart.
नो, तो दिल है. इट्स
Okay. I don't know exactly.
Because there's no translation to man. There is
Yeah.
none.
Okay.
है ना?
That's deep.
मेरा मन नहीं है. How will you explain this? कि मेरा मन नहीं है. It's not that I'm not wanting it or my heart is not saying. It's not your heart and it's not your mind. Then what is man?
Oh damn! I never thought in this way, yaar. This is real. So the last question of this segment, Rhythm, is I want you to answer that what is Sanatan Dharma to you?
Hmm. Sanatan Dharma to me is, oh my God, it is tough. But I want to take a moment to kind of come
Yeah.
to that. Hmm. Sanatan Dharma is that phenomenon. It's that phenomenon that when it happens to you, you will flourish. It you will flourish, you will win, you will be in love, and you will feel complete no matter where you are in life, and you will be so close to whatever you think God is, and we say we want to be more and more loved and we want the intensity of love to increase, and this love that you're trying to find everywhere, no, sanatan dharma is that phenomenon. When it happens inside of you will find all the love inside of you, and you will feel that, and you will actually feel that you are the daughter or the son of the eternal cosmic divine mother and divine father. That is what sanatan dharma is to me.
Interesting. That was a lot of things. Uh,
Yeah.
I think if I have to break each one of things that you've told, then we would have to make like 10 set podcast with Rhythm Kapoor right now.
Next
But yeah,
time.
next time. And we would have, because this is a long podcast, we would have Rhythm Kapoor again back into the second podcast.
I love
So,
it.
guys, please stay tuned. We will be back again in the part two.